afternoon, Southern California, AM 1220 and FM 98.1 KHTS. Your financial hour with Fred Arnold and my good friend David Cantrell. Welcome, David.
Hello. Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
We had to start a little bit late because Dave answered a phone call right when the music came on.
Yeah, well, it was one of our employees, and it could have been important. It wasn't, but it could have been.
It's always important when they have a question. So let's just jump right into it, Dave. Right now, why is it a good time to buy a house? Why is affordability there? Well, I want to talk about housing because I think right now, more than ever, is one of the greatest opportunities we're going to see in a lifetime for young Americans to buy a house.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, right now one of the things that we always talk about when buying a house, and for me, maybe I'm a little prejudiced because I'm a mortgage lender, but it's always about the interest rate. Yeah. I mean, the interest rate, because that's what you're going to be paying over the life of the loan, and that's really what has the effect. And with interest rates where they are now at historical lows, and I know you hear it on the radio and you hear it everywhere, people saying these are the lowest that we've ever seen. They are the lowest we've ever seen. I mean, it is unbelievable where the rates are right now.
Yeah, and so let's talk about that because when my parents, Patty won't know this, right? Because Patty's a young kid.
He's a young kid.
He's on the control board. He likes playing his video games. He's all this new generation, He's never seen interest rates at 19, 20%.
No, he is not.
And I remember when I was a kid, I ran a hostage situation, gas prices, oil crisis, rates were 15 to 21%.
Yeah.
And you hear these stories, but these younger, I say kids,
right.
I guess I can say that when you're post 50, don't know that. And
right.
So when you get interest rates below 4%, wow.
Yeah.
And increase affordability, chance of a lifetime, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And one of the things that makes now such a good time to buy, and even with this was even going on even before the COVID-19, prices are very interesting right now because they're not really going up dramatically. And again, they weren't even going up before this. And so it's one of those, you always hear, oh, it's a buyer's market or, oh, it's a seller's market.
Yep.
This market is one of the first times that I've seen in quite, where it's kind of like, it's a transaction market. Yeah. Sellers are happy because their homes have appreciated over the last 10, 15 years, so they're going to make a nice little profit when they sell the house. Buyers are happy because prices haven't continued to skyrocket, and with interest rates being low, you're right, it changes the affordability so dramatically that it's really a great time to buy a home.
Yep. And not only the affordability because the interest rate's lower, you're not getting outbid.
Right.
By the cash buyers, from what I understand, are not there. Unless it's the mom or dad or rich uncle lending the money and then they're really getting a loan afterwards.
Right.
Yeah, it's really not, we're not seeing that, right?
No,
we're not seeing
we're not.
The institutional, I've got, $80 million to buy homes and we're going to rent them out.
Right.
And so we're not seeing that. We are going to see a disruption, and I say disruption, in the renter's market. Now, 80% of all Americans are making their payment, either partial payment or full payment. Yeah. But you think about that. That means 20%
are not.
Right. Which means there could be some disruption in the rental market, which could soften those a little bit, which is not a bad thing. It's good. It's affordability. But we're going to also see a consolidation of the family. I really think, my kids moved back in from college. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of, thinking, my son after paramedic school is going to be ready to move on.
Right.
Maybe I can write a small check for him to, get a new place,
That's what you would think. Yeah.
But now I'm going, well, wait a second, maybe you ought to save, a little bit of money. And so, I think families are going to reunite once again like they did many years ago.
Yeah, and it's interesting because out here in the Santa Clarita area, building has started again, and we have this new development called Skyline, where there's a bunch of new homes going up. And my wife and I, just as a lark, just went and kind of started touring some of them, and I was surprised at how many have that. They're calling it the grandparents, the downstairs, kitchen, a little kitchenette, little bedroom, little living room area that's kind of attached to the house. So you definitely see that starting to happen again as well. Bringing mom and dad in with you, because then you can afford a little bit nicer house and a little bit bigger area.
Yeah, and it also increases the value of your home.
Absolutely.
We're going to jump to a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about, Patty, you're going to love this. We're going to talk about credit, and if you're unsure about your credit, what you can do to increase that credit score, because right now when it comes to borrowing money, especially when money gets tight, it's all about the credit score.
Absolutely.
Well, you're watching online, hometownstation.com, or listening AM 1220, FM 98.1, KHTS.